You can think of coding standards as the grammar rules of programming. They help us write code that's not only functional but also clean and understandable, making teamwork smoother and more effective. Some coding standards are widely recognized, but typically every organization will define their own style. Here, we will briefly look at some of the most common considerations. Adhering to consistent coding standards is valuable for several reasons. Clear and consistent code is easier to understand, which benefits all team members regardless of their background or experience level. Code that adheres to standards is easier to extend, refactor, and debug, making long-term maintenance efficient and sustainable. Coding standards help ensure that teams write code in a similar style, making collaboration across diverse groups more effective. By following best practices, developers can avoid common pitfalls and reduce the introduction of bugs into the codebase. Standardized coding practices reduce entry barriers for team members from different backgrounds, ensuring everyone can contribute equally and confidently. Consistent and meaningful naming conventions promote clarity and make it easier for everyone on the team to understand the code, regardless of their experience level or cultural background. Inclusive coding standards help create a collaborative environment where every member can easily comprehend and contribute to the project. In C#, the usual convention is to use Pascal case for class names and interfaces and prefix interface names with an I. Pascal case is also preferred for method and property names. On the other hand, Camel case is used for local variables and method parameters. By using clear, descriptive naming conventions, you reduce ambiguity and cognitive load, making it easier for developers from all backgrounds to understand and contribute. It ensures that everyone can equally participate in code reviews and collaborative coding efforts. Proper indentation and the use of whitespace are crucial for readability. They help ensure that your code is easily understandable by others, regardless of their familiarity with the codebase. C# typically uses 4 spaces per indent. Adhering to consistent indentation and formatting standards fosters an inclusive environment where code is easier to understand and modify by any team member, leading to more effective collaboration. When all team members write code in the same style, the learning curve for new team members is significantly reduced and peer reviewing code becomes easier, which increases overall team efficiency. Comments are essential for making code accessible to others, especially for complex sections or when working in diverse teams. A consistent commenting strategy helps everyone, whether technical or non-technical, understand the intention and functionality of the code. Inline comments, for example, can be used to explain non-obvious logic. XML documentation comments are more structured and can be used to document public methods, properties, and classes. Good comments facilitate effective communication between team members and stakeholders. They ensure that non-technical team members, or those with less experience, can understand complex code logic and participate meaningfully in discussions about software design and functionality. You should always handle exceptions and use defensive programming techniques to ensure robustness and clarity. This allows everyone on the team to understand and handle errors consistently. Likewise, if null values are possible within your code, you should always check for them to avoid runtime errors. Defensive programming creates a safety net, reducing errors that can disproportionately affect developers with less experience or those unfamiliar with a specific codebase. By making code predictable and clear, all developers can contribute confidently, enhancing the inclusivity of the engineering environment. A well-structured and modular codebase allows team members to work on individual components independently. This approach fosters both inclusivity and teamwork by breaking down large tasks into manageable, clearly defined units that can be assigned to team members based on their strengths or development goals. This promotes effective teamwork by allowing individuals or smaller teams to work on specific modules without stepping on each other's toes. It also helps evaluate both individual and team performance by making contributions easy to track and measure, enabling continuous improvement. Braces should always be used with control structures, even for single-line statements. This consistency prevents subtle bugs and makes the code clearer to everyone on the team, especially during peer reviews or when non-expert team members are contributing. Although braces are technically optional in certain circumstances, it is good practice to use them in all cases for consistency and readability. Consistent use of braces ensures that the intent of the code is clearly communicated to all stakeholders, reducing ambiguity and improving the effectiveness of code reviews and team discussions. Non-technical audiences can more easily follow the logical flow when presented with consistent, well-formatted code. As we wrap up this tutorial on coding standards, remember that these guidelines do more than just help us write clean code. By maintaining consistency through clear naming, formatting, and commenting, we create an inclusive environment where all team members, regardless of background or experience, can contribute effectively. Coding standards simplify our code base, making it easier to work on projects together and communicate complex concepts clearly to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. This not only boosts teamwork but also enhances how we share and develop software, ensuring that everyone can participate fully and that our work remains accessible and straightforward. Adhering to standards is essential for fostering a collaborative and equitable engineering culture.